What's up, Pokemon trading card game fans? Welcome to episode 123 of Special Conditions, the TCG podcast where our love for competing and collecting collide. Special Conditions is part of the Pokemon Professor Network, and today is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Tuttle, and I am joined by my new co-host, Justin Keller.
Who am I?
Who is you? Welcome. We will get to know Justin a little later, but how are you, Justin?
Doing good. I'm getting ready for Arlington coming up, so been a lot of sleeving, a lot of practicing, getting around.
Yeah, what's your go-to right now? If you had to wake up tomorrow and just go.
I had to wake up tomorrow and go, it's still got to be Lugia.
Okay, all right.
It's what I feel the most confident in this current rotation.
That's positive, though. At least you feel confident in it.
Yeah. I feel like a little bit of a sellout, but, you know.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So on today's show, we're going to get to know Justin. We're going to talk pre-Arlington regionals and talk a little bit about the regionals that have happened all over the world recently, just because, honestly, the deck lists are phenomenal, and it's nice to see so much variety in the metagame, and it's awesome. I'm very happy with where the metagame is right now. And then we're going to talk Scarlet and Violet reveals from Poke Beach. And then we'll open some packs. How's that sound, Justin?
Sounds great to me.
Excellent. All right. So, Justin, the podcast has evolved. We went from a basic with Josh Brown. Shout out to Josh. We miss you and love you. We evolved to stage 1 with Ken. And now we are a fully evolved podcast, aka Pokemon.
Stage 2.
We are now Charizard of podcasts.
Get hype.
Yeah, let's do that Fire Blast for 120. When do podcasts get graded? When do we become PSA graded?
I think that's when you have to go onto Spotify and click that 5-star review, right?
Yes, for sure. All right, so Justin, who the heck are you? What's your past with Pokemon? Where did you come from? Where are you located?
So I'm Justin Keller. Some of you know me in the Discord as Just Will. My name is Justin, not Will, as many would guess. I live in Fort Worth, Texas. So hence why I'm going to the Arlington Regionals, just 20 miles down the road.
Oh, that's so lucky.
Yeah. Don't even have to fly, none of the crazy stuff. Just wake up and go.
That's so cool. I'm very jealous.
Yeah. Pokemon, my earliest memory of Pokemon, besides watching the anime, was convincing my parents to let me and my brother get a pack of base set and a blockbuster way back in the day. And that's where my love of Arcanine comes from, because first pack I opened, there was an Arcanine in there. And at the time, I really wanted a dog, and it was like the closest thing to a dog. Like, instantly favorite.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So your favorite type is fire with the Arcanine dog? All right, because my favorite type is ice. So that's like fire and ice.
Yeah. Oh.
I like this duo.
Yeah, so after that, my first game was gold. My brother had blue. And then, we swapped back and forth. And then I took a hiatus or the Pokemon drought for many years. And then picked up Pokemon Go in 2016, when it all came out. We all went crazy for it. And played that for a few years, then took another break. And then come 2020, I needed something to do, so I picked up, I was still playing Pokemon Go at the time but I was like, you know what? Let's see what these trading cards things are about, because I've been a long time listener from Lured Up, and then I was like, I have some time to kill. At the time I wasn't working and was raising a puppy, so it was like all out for the trading cards. So just trying to absorb information. And so that's when it started in 2020, some PTCGO. Obviously there was no in-person that year, or the following for that matter. And then it's just kind of been, it's been an interesting ride to get here.
Well, that's awesome. It's nice to know that, you had it growing up and you're back in it now. Now you're doing a podcast.
Yeah. Gasp.
That's exciting. Yeah, right? So what decks are you playing aside from Lugia? Do you have any other decks that you're toying with?
So, but before in the previous format, like Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, I was playing like Arceus Weakness Box with help from a friend, and I was had in there Crobat and Crobat VMAX, Sylveon VMAX, and Lucario V-Star. It's pretty fun, hit for weakness at that time.
I think that deck beat me in one of our TCGO tournaments.
I've been playing some Hisuian Arcanine, the stage 1.
The no energy
one where you just dump your hand.
I know. That is such a brutal deck. I hate facing it. I'm just like, great. All you have to do is just recycle your Pokemon, and your Zoroark goes to the discard, brings out Arcanine, hits me for one shot. Ugh.
Oh, it came out with one of my favorite arts of all time, the character rare.
Yes, yeah, that is gorgeous.
I may or may not have 3 graded copies.
What grades are they?
A 9 and a 9.5 and a perfect 10.
Oh, wow. Is that from CGC or is that from PSA?
They're all from CGC, and then I have one from PSA on the way.
Ooh. All right. So technically you would say you'd have 4.
Yeah. Eventually.
Okay. And I know that the listeners can't see what I see behind you, but you have some interesting stuff on display. Do you have any crazy collections?
Besides the Pokemon card collection that is takes up a lot of room, there's something else that takes up even more room, and that's called Lego. And I've been collecting that quite a bit. That is something I've been, collecting since childhood. Star Wars, Marvel, Ninjago, Harry Potter. I kind of collect them all.
It sounds like it. That sounds like that could be its own podcast. Gotta collect them all.
Gotta collect them all.
Did you ever dabble with Lego Dimensions when that came out?
I didn't. I didn't have. Let's see, because I was on the Wii U.
Yes.
I did not have the Wii U. I really wanted to.
I believe for the 360.
And then by the time I was getting around to it, the system was kind of dead.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it was such a good game. Mm-hmm. The interactions between all the characters from all the universes was really spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I bought a couple of the packs just for the figures. Does that count?
Oh, okay, but that does count. That counts. And as far as collections go, do you have any master sets of the TCG?
No, I would say the closest one it would be Astral Radiance, because I think I have 5 of the alt arts, which are the hardest cards to get, and so.
But you have the whole gallery art.
I've got 80% of them.
Ooh, geez. I think the last set I came near to completing was Roaring Skies, and that's because I bought a case. But in that entire case, I did not get a full art Shaman EX back in the day. Yeah, so, but I since then have taken cards out, and I don't know where everything is. I'm trying to get a singleton binder just situated with all the good cards and just put all the commons, uncommons, rares, hollows, just everything off to the side and just kind of restart. Sorry, to restart. And do you play any other Pokemon games?
Yeah, at first it was just when I came back in, let's say 2018, it was really just Pokemon Go, and then it was okay, there's only so much I can do with this. Let's try some of the other things. So that later on that year, or was it 2019? Sword and Shield came out, and I was super into that. I tried Unite. That wasn't really for me.
Yeah, Unite was hard to get into, if you will.
Played some Magikarp Jump.
Oh, that was so good.
Yeah, and that's basically it.
Have you messed with any Scarlet or Violet?
I have, and I really want to play some more, but...
You're like, right now, but I'm podcasting.
Well, yeah. Well,
I feel like that every time I'm podcasting. I was like, I just want to play more Scarlet and Violet.
No, and well, with Arlington coming up this weekend, I'm like, okay, I want to play, but I should focus on how can I best play this?
And what are you doing to practice for Arlington?
You know, I went around to some of my locals the past couple weekends, and a couple of them, it was only like 4 players, but one of them had 30 players and has a pretty good turnout, and people are bringing like A-list decks, not like fun meme decks, especially since with the tournament being local. I've been talking with some of my friends online, and we've been like, I'm just practicing my Lugia list, and then they'll like bring other countermeasure decks against me. And next, what I need to do is I'm going to like look at all my cards and then see what I can remember about them and just write them out, because I'm having a hard time remembering the nitty gritty of some of the attacks.
Yeah, you wanna make sure you memorize all, like, how many copies of everything. So if you can just like if you're at work, just you're on break or whatever, you just take a second and just write everything down and just see what you can remember from what your actual list is.
Mm-hmm.
I found that's a helpful tool.
That's a good idea.
Because you're going to need to know, and I hope I see you on stream, honestly.
Yeah, of course.
I'd be very excited to see you.
Yeah. Yep, and then I think, other than that, it'll be some like dummy hands of, all right, how quickly can I figure out what's in my prize cards?
And are you running the Hisuian Heavy Ball?
I am not running it. The Lugia list is very like expansive as it is, and I can't afford something like that in there.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you got your plans all together for this.
Mm-hmm.
How confident are you?
I'd say I'm looking at like a 500 record.
Okay. All right.
That's all. That's my goal. And if I do any better than that, great.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, I always go in thinking that, like, if I walk away with a positive record, even if it's like 3-2, 5-4, something like that, as long as I have more wins than losses, that's a good day for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, you had mentioned you were raising a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get some names? Can we get a count of all the animals you have?
So I have 3 animals. Finn, short for Finnegan. He's a Samoyed. Just think of a white cotton ball. Just think of like Altaria's wings. That's basically what he looks like. And he is 65 pounds of fluff. But he's a cute dog and loves to run around. He's 2. And so he's a COVID dog. And then there's Seamus, my Siberian Husky. He is about to turn 8. His birthday is Christmas Eve. I thought you would like that.
Yeah.
And then my most recent addition is Pascal, my Ambilobi Panther Chameleon.
That thing is so sweet.
It's a one of my friends calls it Charmander because it's a red body chameleon.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, Justin, I think I've grilled you a little bit too much now. We'll let the audience, if they want to know anything, they should just email us, SpecialConditions at PokemonProfessor.com. So if you have any questions for Justin, email them to us, SpecialConditions at PokemonProfessor.com. You could text us, leave us a voicemail, send us a picture, 732-835-8639. But Justin, I got a pack. I got a pack of Brilliant Stars.
I also have a pack.
All right. I
should go first
because it looks like you need to get into your triple pack there.
Yeah, about a 3-pack.
But I got Brilliant Stars, so I'm gonna reach in, grab some, hopefully some good cards. You know, I still need a gold Arceus.
Ooh. I play that my Arceus deck. It's pretty great.
All right. I got a code. It is C44DW7DKPMYVM. Good luck, trainers. We've got a Steel Energy, a Magma Basin, a Crawdaunt, an Ultraball, a Shinx. I got a Bidoof, an Electabuzz, a Hawlucha, a Buizel. Reverse Hollow is a Tropius, and my rare is a Clink Clang. I feel like that's happened many times on this show.
Hey, sneak peek for later when we talk about Scarlet and Violet, but no more non-hollow rares.
Ooh.
All right.
I did see that. That's game changer.
I have a Silver Tempest pack.
Crack into it.
I know some of you audiophiles like the crinkle.
I love it. Ken will
Right.
have the pack already like opened, and I'm like, Ken, just open it on the. It just doesn't matter.
Code HJTKQQNX2QBRH. Good luck. We got a Fire, a Wallace, a Jinx, a Brandon, a Beldum, Stunfisk, Vulpix, so cute, Snorunt, Fletchling, First Hollow is a Fennekin, and an Armaldo.
Womp womp. No even hollows. No gallery arts. No nothing.
Yeah, I think Pokemon Proper heard us. We're tired of that.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad they're listening somewhat, you know? All right, Justin, we're going to take a break. And then when we come back, we will get through some housekeeping and then we'll talk about regionals. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
All right, we'll be back right after this. And we are back. Justin, how you feeling?
Refreshed.
Refreshed? All right. Drinking some water, I see. How was it? Refreshing?
It was crisp. I like the sparkling water, so.
Oh, all right. Get a little bubbly in there. All right, just a little housekeeping real quick. This podcast is powered by Patreon. Check ours out at patreon.com/PokemonProfessor, where you can support this show for as little as $1 a month. That $1 is going to get you access to our patron exclusive Discord, which is a fantastic place filled with fantastic people. All patrons are eligible to participate in our monthly Pokemon Go and TCGO prize tournaments. Registration's in the Discord, and we hope to see you there. I want to give a huge thank you to our gym leaders, Absolutely Ryan, Austin Zard, Hall the Counselor, Grant, Jamal, Mythical Hitch, Sue, The Cole, and Big Zom Minus. And a huge thanks to our executive producer, Tish Smith. I know she'll be excited that that you're now a part of this show.
Yeah, praise to the Lapras Queen, Tish Smith.
Right? That was such a good deck. I just, and it was cool when it came back for that little spurt.
Oh yeah, like it was like a 2020 deck, and then it came back.
Right. And make sure you check out PokemonProfessor.com for links to everywhere you can connect with us, grab some merch, and leave us reviews. Like Justin said at the top of the show, that's how we become Charizard. VMAX. Wah, wah, wah. No. All right, Justin, let's look over some tournament results real quick, because these tournaments, honestly, are so cool. We'll start with Brisbane, Australia. What are your thoughts looking at top 8?
I mean, my first thought is Frostmoth in a deck taking first. I didn't even know people played that anymore.
This is so confusing. Like looking at this list, I still don't understand.
I mean, it's
There's
almost
6 water energies and 1 wash water energy. There's 7 energies.
Let's see. Do they recycle it at all? They got a training court.
Okay, training court, but still, that's one training court.
Let's see.
I guess Raihan.
Oh, they have 2 Nessa to bring 4 combination water Pokemon and water energy cards from your discard pile back to your hand.
Wow. Okay. All right. I guess I can see how this works. And then you've got the Articuno that does Wild Freeze for 70. It does for 2 waters. This Pokemon also does 50 damage to itself. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So if you can be paralyzing your opponent and they have no switch cards or anything, this is pretty detrimental.
And that was big because Lugia at the time was not even playing switch. They would just ramp up energies and then just manually retreat. Or if they played a switch, it was like a 1-of Bird Keeper.
Oof. So what's your out to this deck? What do you have?
So right now, I've got.
And do you run the Bird Keeper as like something to be punny? Because Lugia is a bird.
And Articuno is also a bird. I'm trying to keep that bird in the cage.
Oh, you don't want to let it out. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. That's fair.
But really, it's for the switch, for the occasional paralyze, as well as the extra 3-card draw.
Okay. Yeah, and then this has got Alolan Vulpix V-Star.
And right now, I'm toggling between 2 Luminion or a Luminion and an Eldegoss. And the Eldegoss could fetch me the Bird Keeper.
Okay. Yeah, because it gets it out of the discard.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be a boss's orders.
Mm-hmm.
I like that play. And then it's still 2 energies for its attack, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't see how you could go wrong there. More versatility.
Puts itself back in the deck for the control matchup.
Yep, exactly. All right, and so looking at what jumped out to me...
Was it number 2?
It was number 2. So there was a Durant, there was multiple Lugias, there was Mew, which is still I don't understand. Yveltal Control, but there was Electric Box or Flaffy Box. It's got a 4/4 with Flaffy. It's got Zekrom in there, Regieleki, Snorlax, Zapdos from Pokemon Go. It's got Raikou V, Medicham V, Crobat V, Radiant Greninja, and a Manaphy. This covers a ton of matchups, and it does a lot of damage, and you can work it so it's just single prizers, taking out heavy things. And I'm sure this did well due to the fact that there's tons of Lugia running around.
Mm-hmm. And most of them at the time were not playing Dunsparce.
All right.
They
so it's Dunsparce.
Dunsparce was early, and then it kind of went away from the meta. It's kind of a bunch of lists still aren't running it, so catch them off guard.
But they won't catch you off guard.
No.
Because again, something that I found that helps is you have to hate your deck. You have to figure out what could somebody play that's absolutely going to ruin my day, and then figure out how to get around that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody literally is just playing a 4/4 Weezing, how do you get around it?
Yeah. The other day I was only had the one Pumpkaboo to get rid of stadiums, and then I was coming across too many multiple path stadiums, so I was like, okay, I gotta put a vacuum in here somewhere and cut something out. Now, Weezing I have not played against very much, if at all. So...
Well, that effectively poisons you and then puts 2... Is it 2 or 4 damage counters?
4.
4. So it puts 4 damage counters back and forth and no abilities.
And then a lot of them play the Hisuian Sneasler that puts the extra 2 damage counters.
Yep. But there's also the I don't know what the supporter is, but it puts a colorless Pokemon and everything back to your hand.
Sharon's Care. It's
kind of like Briney's Compassion from way back in the day. Old time listeners might know what that is. But yeah, this top 8 was really cool. I'm so excited that the meta is very open right now.
And you know what's crazy with some of these decks? Some of these are cheap. This Flaffy box says $33. I mean, that's the cost of one Lugia V-Star.
Yep. And it's good against Lugia V-Star. So, and you can be a single prize attacking deck. You get all the good stuff that you need, and you don't start with a V or V, in the active, because that would stink. You start with Crobat. I hate that so much.
Oh, the worst.
Let's look at Stuttgart. I believe that's Germany.
Stuttgart.
But first place was a Palkia Vikavolt V. How crazy is that?
I'm not even sure how they put this deck together.
There's 6 waters. There's 4 speed lightning energies and then 1 regular lightning energy. So 11 energies is pretty common for most decks. But it's got the Raikou, Vikavolt V. It's a weird mix, but I love it.
Yeah, and they
Melanie to attach energies.
They went the Mew route and did not do the Inteleon route.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's space. I mean, think of how quick you can get stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
I do like Mew a lot. There was multiple Mew VMAX, Palkia Inteleon. There was a Lugia. There's a Mewtwo Gengar.
4 trekking just to get through your deck faster.
Yep. There's 745 players. Hi. Let me see real quick what it was. Australia. Australia was 182. Yeah. All right, let's look at Toronto, Canada, real quick. Oh, I watched this. Piper Lapine did so much work with Mewtwo V-Union. It was so cool to watch. Just going turn after turn with nothing happening really, and then out of nowhere just being like Mew V-Union, and then I just take the whole game.
It's so funny how this Mewtwo V-Union keeps finding play every feels like at least once a rotation and does really well.
And it's now this list is just open to the public, so you might have to face this.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be able to take it down?
Yeah, I was listening to her talk about it the other day. She was like, part of it does well when people don't know about it, and so theoretically if people can know about it and take it down, but I don't know how to take it down. If you're, I feel like that's box,
something you gotta build and play test against.
Yeah, I asked my friend Drew to build the deck and help me. Let's see. Now, if you're Lost Box, you just play Drapion to get rid of Mewtwo. No.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. The 4 Eviltal's scary.
Right? Cry of Destruction. Discard up to 3 special energies from your opponent's Pokemon. That's gnarly. I've seen a lot of Lugias play Blissey to be able to get them from the discard. But I don't know. You get them off Lugia, there's no hope. They can just do that turn after turn after turn.
Yeah, and
especially with 4 of them.
Something like this, I think I just have to accept that it's an auto loss, and I'll focus better on the more common decks.
And you don't think because it won, it'll be more common.
Well, it's such a bizarre style of play and not the popular way to play that I'm sure it'll be around, but
okay. All right. And then the rest of top 8, you've got Duraludon, Arceus, Lost Zone Box, multiple Lugia. You got another Lost Zone Box, Palkia Inteleon, Articuno Inteleon.
I personally love Arceus Duraludon because it has a cult following. You either love it or you hate it.
I don't think I've ever played it, so.
Yeah, the idea being Duraludon prevents all damage done to it by attacks with Pokemon that has special energy, which is the basis of Lugia decks.
Yep.
So the only way Lugia deals with it is Eviltal.
And that's if you get enough energies, you knock it out?
5 energies knocks it out.
Jeez.
Now, they tech around it by playing 2 umbrellas.
Parasol?
Yeah, big parasol. Which, back in the day, I didn't think there would be any use for that card. I mean, it just wasn't ever seeing play, and all of a sudden now we see it all the time.
Yeah, that's strange. Jeez. And then we've got Sao Paulo. Is that how you say it? Sao Paulo?
Yeah, LAIC, Sao Paulo. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
So Tord Reklev won this with Lugia Archeops.
This is what prompted me to play Lugia Archeops, because I was like, we were getting a couple weeks away, and I was trying to focus down on something, and then I saw how Lugia Archeops was like literally every deck. And I was like, oh god, if I can build Lugia, I should probably just do it. And a friend of mine had a couple he could loan me. I already had one of the Vs, so I only had to buy 3 cards. So it wasn't as terrible.
Oh, okay.
And one of my local stores, they're an online only store and have no storefront other than if you come and pick up online orders. And they happened to be on the way home from work, so I was like, okay, I'll do it.
That's cool. That's cool though. Yeah, 6 out of the top 8 were all Lugia.
Yeah, and if you scroll down towards the bottom,
oh my god, it's
like,
all Lugia.
Yeah.
Why wasn't anybody playing the Flaffy box? They would have taken.
It just wasn't
That's
fast
wild.
enough.
Nah, I think it could have worked. But wow, yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just Yveltal Control and Lost Zone Box are the only other 2 that made it into top 8. All right, moving on. Taiwan.
Yes, the Tainan Regional.
Yeah, this top 16, you got Mew VMAX, Lugia V-Star, Lugia...
Bunch of Lugia.
Eternatus VMAX, Umbreon VMAX. Oh,
That's
man.
the one that has
went
me
11
excited.
and 2. That's so cool. I mean, having a big bench like that and just being able to play whatever you want. I mean, I don't know how Umbreon, like, I get Umbreon VMAX doing its thing to pull out whatever Pokemon, but I feel like you could totally use the dark type Ariados to bring up a evolved Pokemon, and Lugia, the V stars are all evolved Pokemon. So Lost Zone Toolbox, Lugia, Lost Zone Toolbox, Blissey, V, Miltank.
Yeah, and what's some of that Forest Seal Stone has kind of revived some of these decks, that didn't have a V-Star attack before.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, but I'm honestly, the diversity between all of these regionals, except for Toronto, is amazing.
Yeah. There's some inventive deck lists.
All right, Justin, I say we move on to Scarlet and Violet, the set.
I don't know about you, but it has me pretty excited.
Okay, tell me why you're excited.
I mean, there's a bunch of things. The obvious thing is they revealed the new special mechanic. So besides it being EX, it's also, they have the terrestrial form. If you've played any Scarlet and Violet, there's like these special terrestrial Pokemon. I'm taking it, it's kind of like, the VMAX from last generation. But the one terrestrial they showed was Arcanine EX.
Oh, I bet you're hyped for that.
And I totally called it. I was like, come on. The only other ultra rare Arcanine has had up until the Hisuian one was Arcanine EX from, what set was that?
Fire Red Leaf Green?
No.
Aquapolis? No, I have no idea. I'm just saying out sets now.
Yeah. I don't know. There's an Arcanine on the box. But anyways,
Gym leader. No.
It was like Legends Awakened. No, I don't know.
All
Anyways,
right, so what's exciting about these terrestrialized Pokemon?
So it has something that's more akin to like an ancient trait from back in the day.
Roaring Skies era.
Yeah. So this Terra type says it cannot take any damage while on the bench. So it has built-in bench barrier. Which
now is that for all fire terrestrialized Pokemon?
Nobody knows. It's kind of if you look at it, the pessimistic view, it's all of them will have bench barrier for terrestrial. Now, if they are more akin to like the video games, I think it'll be fire has bench barrier, and then water will have some other Terra type.
Okay,
trait.
that's cool. I'm very excited to see where this goes.
Yeah, so, and some of the other things that are different about this set is...
Yeah, you said something about silver borders.
The yellow borders are finally going away.
Woo!
Now, I know a lot of us have been clamoring for this for a while, and I'll just say it's about time.
It is about time.
You know, I've only been collecting and playing for a couple of years, and now you have been doing it your whole life.
Yes. I'm very excited to see the yellow go.
Yeah.
It was nice when they did the SP Pokemon, because those had different borders, some of them did, or not those. What was it? It was Team Plasma. So all the borders were blue. That was so cool.
Yeah, no, those were cool. Like, the cards weren't worth anything, but they were just cool to look at.
Yes, for sure.
And then I was thinking about, like, back in the original little EX era, all the ultra rares had that hollow silver border around the outside.
Oh, yep. That was gorgeous. Those looked really nice.
I kind of hope they bring that back for EX. It'll probably just be textured again, which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
But I guess if you kind of read into it a little bit, they've been kind of inching us closer and closer that way anyways, because there's been more and more cards that have the black borders, and the other cards besides, the commons and uncommons would have the darker borders. So it was the natural progression. It just took longer than some of us wanted.
Okay, and what's the difference between a capital EX Pokemon and a lowercase EX Pokemon?
So I myself do not know, because I did not play back then. But off the top of my head...
pick me! No.
Yes, Adam, you.
All right. So EX, lowercase, was you needed to evolve into that. So if you had a Charizard EX, you had to go from Charmander to Charmeleon to Charizard EX.
Now, could you use rare candy?
You could use rare candy, yep.
Cool.
So it will make stage 2s viable. Like, I mean, I hope the format slows down a little bit and nobody's like, I really am excited for the lowercase EX era, because the game has been so heavily filled with just big basic. This. It's like Arceus star. Oh my goodness. But now it's like, okay, here's a stage 2 Ampharos EX, and they can make the final evolution much stronger than like a basic EX, because it takes effort to get there. And I hope that they do this. Like, I hope that they do this really well. I have high hopes.
Yeah, same. That was always the worst. Like, you go second, they get to their second turn, they build up and knock out your 2 prize Pokemon, and you're already down 2 prizes.
Yep.
So hopefully this kind of prevents that and draws the game out, a little bit longer. Because I think we hit the ultimate, and as far as like fastness goes, in the tag team era, where we had basic 3 prize Pokemon. That was like the quickest. And, ADP didn't help either.
No, not at all. And I love the fact that like stage 2 Pokemon are getting the buff that they so desperately need.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ampharos, 330 hit points. The stage 1 Arcanine EX, 280, and then you've got Magnezone, stage 2, 330. I like that we have 330 hit point EX Pokemon.
Yeah. No, it's pretty exciting. I mean, that's pretty comparable numbers to like the stage 2 EX being like the VMAX and the stage 1 EX being like the V-Star. Pretty much dead on numbers.
And just keep in mind that EX still means that when they get knocked out, your opponent's going to take 2 prize cards for them.
Mm-hmm.
So there is Miraidon and Koraidon for EX, which are basic. So those will be interesting.
Yeah, they're real. It looks like they're really trying to pump up the lightning to support, maybe to counteract Lugia. Maybe they're just choosing a new type that they like. But Miraidon EX looks pretty, I don't know if broken's the right word, but it looks pretty fun.
All right, so we'll just read it right here from Pokebeach.com. Ability, Tandem Unit. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for 2 basic lightning Pokemon and put them onto your bench. Then shuffle your deck. So turn 1, you get this thing out. You're like, Mareep. Next turn, you get 2 Flaffies. You get a bunch of energies in the discard, and you're flying. You're off to the races. This is Photon Blaster for 220. Does for 2 lightnings and a colorless, 220. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack, but if you are playing anything like those Flaffy boxes or anything like that, you will have switch cards. That is part of the deck itself.
Man, I was just thinking about, how we used to be super hype about Sobble being able to keep calling and get 3 on your bench. This gets 2 on your bench as an ability.
That's wild. Turn. Maybe that's just a translation thing. No, I'm just kidding. Imagine that. It's like this ends your turn. But yeah, we see a lot of the new Pokemon. You see Pawmi, you see Smoliv, Lechonk.
New art for Professor's Research with an updated stamp.
I'm very excited for that because you've got Turo and Sada.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like they're both the same. So will we get one as a promo and one as like in the set proper? I wonder how they'll do this because they have the same for what's her name? Nimona, which is effectively just the standard draw 3 cards.
Which kind of stinks because, no one ever wants to play draw 3 cards.
No. Especially when there's draw 3 cards and switch your Pokemon.
Yeah.
Draw 3 cards, make your opponent's bench 3.
Yeah. The big news was since Quick Ball is going out, Nest Ball is coming back. Now, I don't know if you have any Nest Ball from back in the day.
Oh, I'm sure I do.
Got any gold?
I definitely have one.
I had one. I think I traded it.
Well, you didn't trade it to me. But yeah, a lot of the Sun and Moon stuff I still have. And I definitely have spare Nest Balls just chilling out. Yep. But yeah, it looks... then we have a Silazar EX, which does this thing... I haven't played too much, but does this thing evolve into Koraidon or Miraidon? Or is it just like another rideable Pokemon that's just not as cool?
I'm going to say that, if only because the Koraidon, Miraidon EX are basics.
Well, yes, no, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, does it derive from, like, is it just a different form?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far.
Silazar? Well, I haven't. I don't know anything. If you know, email us, SpecialConditions at PokemonProfessor.com. But yeah, this has 210 for a basic, which is okay, but it's not 330. For 1, it does Power Run, 30 damage. Search your deck for a basic energy card attached to this Pokemon. Shuffle your deck. For 3 colorless, Full Throttle, 180 damage. This Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. So there'll be a lot of decks with switch cards for sure. especially because there's the new EXs. There's a beach court, which is the first like area you battle Nemona in the Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
The retreat cost for each player's basic Pokemon is a colorless less. That's broken.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Your Koraidon, 1 retreat cost. Your Miraidon, no retreat cost. Wait, are you saying this lightning Pokemon can go search for anything else and then free retreat? No way.
Hey, it's fast and just like
it is fast, and you
wanted...
won't need to play. You won't need to play Stormy Mountains anymore because this will allow you to go get 2 bench Pokemon.
But I always like Stormy Mountains.
But you don't need it anymore because that only gets you 1. This gets you 2, and you could play the other supporter or the other stadium that lets you retreat for free.
Okay, I'll just keep the gold in my binder.
All right.
Oh,
all right. Any final thoughts on this set?
There is one thing we should mention. So, they did mention a retail price increase from $3.99 to $4.49. At least I think it was $4.49. Yes. But they say here, and I quote, "In an effort to continue providing a positive Pokemon TCG experience and value, each pack of Pokemon cards will now feature 3 guaranteed foil cards per booster. All cards with a rarity of rare or higher will now be foil."
Wow. That's so cool.
So, my question to you is, let's speculate a little bit. What do you think these 3 holos will be in a pack?
Well, I'm sure the EX would be 1. And then you might get...
But they're saying per booster. I don't think you're going to get one of those per.
Well, it says 3 holos. Is that holo graphic? Or is that holo reverse holo?
Yeah, like... it could be...
Okay, you get 2 reverse holos and a holo in every pack, and like that's the standard now?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe you get 2 reverse holos and a holo, like bare minimum. And then it can like... One of the reverse holos could be a character rare, and the other one could be your EX or other ultra rare.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, we'll be able to see when Japan starts opening these.
Mm-hmm. And did you see that they're recategorizing tool cards?
I heard something about that. Tell me more.
Basically, tool cards used to be part of like the item category, but now they're reformatting the card, and so it's going to be its own thing, just like stadiums, supporters. It'll have its own subcategory.
Okay. I believe they did that way back when.
Yeah,
if I do recall correctly.
I think that's when they made the subcategory for stadiums, right?
Yes.
Instead of just generic trainer. And then they're reformatting the way the energies look. They'll have like, if it's a basic energy, it'll say basic energy, and then it'll have the energy symbol on the bottom.
And did they show off anything like that?
Yes. There's another article from PokeBeach. Scarlet Violet set, English set revealed for February.
Oh, I see it. No, that's so cool. Oh, wow. Okay. That's so cool. I really appreciate that they do that. So now you can make stacks a lot smaller because you can keep them underneath the card.
Yeah, I'm not like having to go a quarter of the way down just to figure out what it is.
Yes. Oh, that's so cool. I really like that change.
Yeah, I think it'll help clean up the play area.
Yes, for sure. And in the art, it does show like a terrestrialized Gyarados. So that's cool. So we know that Arcanine's getting one. Gyarados is getting one.
All right, what else do you think is getting one?
I don't want to say it out loud, but Charizard. just because. Didn't they just do a terrestrialized Charizard, like a raid type thing?
There's one up this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, so I'm sure it ties in. I'm sure it ties in.
Yeah, I mean, what a better way to start it than with Charizard, right?
Right.
Maybe we'll get a Delibird.
We need a Delibird EX. I'm just saying. Pokemon, if you're listening, Delibird EX. It's never gotten an EX. Please. Somebody.
Now,
make it happen.
Maybe you're further along than me than I am, but did Delibird get like a regional form or some sort of evolution?
So in the game, I guess there's Area 0 and there's Paradox Pokemon, and there's it looks like Delibird, but it's called Iron Bundle, which makes no sense. Straight up, it makes no sense. It's like, just call it like Delibird. It's a Delibird. Okay? Yeah. It just looks like a robot. Even if you called it Iron Delibird, I would have been fine with that. You called it Iron Bundle? That sounds so generic. It's so generic.
Not gonna lie, I was really confused when some of our friends were talking about, oh yeah, I'm going Iron Bundle hunting. I was like, what are they talking about?
The shiny, though, that is gorgeous. It is like white with like ice blue patterns on it. It's so good. So I'll be hunting that for sure. I'm almost there. I am in talks with the Professor Turo about Area 0. So that's where I'm at in the game.
Snap.
All right, Justin, but that's a show. How was your first show?
Already? It feels like we just started.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we could go on for a lot longer. There's a lot to talk about. We haven't done an episode in forever, so I just felt like discussing regionals was probably the most important thing right now. Talking about Scarlet and Violet, because that information just released, I think, this week at some point. So that stuff was necessary. We needed to get to know you. We will find out more on the next episode for sure. Like I said earlier, email us, SpecialConditions@PokemonProfessor.com. Leave us a voicemail, text us, send us a picture, 732-835-8639. We would love to know what you're playing at Arlington Regionals. And Justin, you got anything else?
I think that's it.
Remember,
if you're affected by a special condition, don't forget to use a full heal.
Yes. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.